Hey guys, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here, and it is Sunday, so we are doing data breaches of the week, and I actually recorded this Saturday night, so if something happened, if a bomb dropped between Saturday night and Sunday morning, I really apologize. But let's dive right in, because once again, it just seems like these are increasing and increasing. Now, our first data breach comes from Australia, and I was actually alerted to this by an avid viewer, Craig McHugh, and Craig, thank you for this, but there is a valuation firm called Landmark White in Australia. Now, virtually every bank in Australia uses Landmark White to do valuations. Here's the problem. They got hit and apparently exposed a ton of data. This actually flew under the radar when they first reported in February 5th, and then it got caught on, or rather it was caught on by a news story in Australia about this week or so. And so for this week, Australian banks are now starting to basically notify all of their customers, and they're saying this is industry-wide. It's not one specific bank or another, because they were all apparently using this company. So as this unfolds, I'll definitely let you know. Craig, thanks for the heads up, but this looks like a serious problem that Australia's got on its hands right now. Moving on, because it is the week of Valentine's Day, and we just went through that, let's talk about dating websites. Now, there's a dating website called Coffee Meets Bagel, and they said on Monday that, I quote, an unauthorized party gained access to user data. Now, luckily, the company said that the hackers didn't make off with any sensitive information like credit cards or passwords, but they got information on users. So if you use Coffee Meets Bagel to find the love of your life, heads up on that. Next, we're going to be moving on to 500px. Now, this is a photography website. They reset 14.8 million passwords for their users. Now, the company said it became aware of a data breach last week. It estimates that the breach took place around July 5th or so and affected pretty much all 15 million users on the website. And so they are basically resetting passwords to make sure that everything is okay. Moving on, once again, we're going to be sticking in the realm of dating sites. It is the Valentine's Day edition, apparently. We're going to be talking about OkCupid. Now, a slew of OkCupid users have been complaining that hackers have been taking over their accounts, but OkCupid doesn't think that's the case. And in a statement they said, and I quote, "There has been no security breach at OkCupid. All websites constantly experience account takeover attempts, and there hasn't been an increase in account takeovers on OkCupid. There is no story here." And so take that for what it's worth, but OkCupid is saying there is no data breach. Moving on, we're going to be heading to New York. There's a company called PrintEZ. They got hit on their e-commerce site, printez.com, and they are notifying customers who used a credit card on their website between September 1st, 2016 and September 23rd, 2018, when PrintEZ moved to its new checkout process. So if you use PrintEZ, heads up on that. The next one we're going to be talking about, which is actually fairly serious, is a company called ImageEyeNation Technologies. Now, if you're not familiar with ImageEyeNation, what they do is provide hosting services and software to consumer reporting agencies like Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, and they are stating that they experienced a supply chain data breach that left users' personal information exposed for at least 2 weeks. I quote, "Last December 20, the company discovered that there had been unauthorized access to our database containing the personal information of individuals who had a consumer report through our system at some point in the past. Based on our investigation, we have determined that the personal information that was potentially accessed could have included first and last names, dates of birth, home addresses, and social security numbers." So in other words, the hosting company and the software company that is providing to the big three credit unions just said they got hit and there had been unauthorized access to virtually everybody. And that is a serious problem, because the Equifax breach was a bombshell, but this one could possibly not only pull them in, but Experian and TransUnion as well. And that is absolutely nuts. And we are not even done with our data breaches of the week. We're going to move on from there. So digest that for a second. Stanford University is our next up. Now, Basically, this is the second data breach that Stanford has had in less than a year, and Stanford students could actually view applications and high school transcripts of other students, and I quote, if they first requested to view their own admission documents under the Family Education Rights and Privacy Act. The documents that were compromised by the hackers because they were able to find a workaround in the system included extremely sensitive personal information like social security numbers, students' ethnicity, legal status in the country, home address, citizenship status, criminal status, standardized test scores, personal essays, and whether they had actually applied to financial aid. So this is very, very serious for Stanford University, and if you were affiliated with that university, heads up. And finally, we are going to talk about Fortnite. Now, if you're not familiar with Fortnite, that is a very, very popular game that a lot of people are playing right now, and there has been some speculation that is starting to grow on some forums and boards, and it just came across my attention as I was looking up data breaches for the past week or so, and user forums are starting to say that Fortnite has had a data breach, but it's only 709 accounts that were leaked. They are pointing people to Have I Been Pwned? That's the website run by Troy Hunt that you can punch an email address and it will show you. And so apparently some people are finding that they have been breached due to Fortnite. I have no other information on that. And that actually concludes our breaches of the week. And let me know what you think, because it's just on and on and on and on. And we've had some seriously damning breaches this week. And thanks again to Craig McHugh for finding that one in Australia. So with that, thanks a lot. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP. And as always, stay safe and stay online. Thanks, guys.